Sermon 29. Commentary. After the Battle of Siffin and the arbitration, Muawiyah's Syrian forces launched frequent raids into Imam Ali's territories, for example at Al-Anbar, Hijaz and Yemen. The Kufan fighters, despite numerical superiority and pledges of allegiance, repeatedly showed hesitation, excuses about weather, fatigue, tribal loyalties, or fear. This sermon came after a specific raid where enemy horsemen penetrated deep, looted, humiliated women, and withdrew unharmed, highlighting the Kufans in action. The Imam's isolation reached a peak. He could no longer rely on them for defense, preemption, or even moral support. Ibn Maytham al-Bahrani in his Sharh states that the opening line, bodies together but desires divergent, is a devastating diagnosis of spiritual disunity. Physical presence without inner alignment with truth leads to collective failure. The term "talk softens hard stones" relates to eloquent speeches and promises that melt even the hardest hearts in theory, but in action attracts the enemy, i.e., cowardice emboldens the opponents. When Imam Ali talks about broken arrows thrown over the enemy, he's referring to the Kufans who are useless in battle, like defective weapons that harm no one and are discarded. The rhetorical questions Imam Ali asks, "What is your ailment? What is your cure?" Bahrani describes as being a call for self-examination. The Imam diagnoses hypocrisy, greed, and lack of piety as the root diseases. Likewise, Allama Majlisli quotes riwayats from the Imams such as Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq and Imam Baqir alayhi salam, who confirm this sermon as a direct rebuke to the majority of Kufans who pledged allegiance but failed in loyalty when tested. The term "deceived is one whom you have deceived" refers to those who trust the Kufans, including the Imam himself, end up being disappointed. Useless arrows is a term that any apparent success with them yields no real benefit. Their support, i.e., is illusionary. The Imam's declaration, "I neither confirm your views nor hope for your support," is seen as a prophetic announcement of the coming isolation of Walaya. After Imam Ali alayhi salam, the true Shia would be a minority, tested by similar trials. Allama Muhammad Hussain Tabatabai states that the sermon illustrates the Quranic principle: Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. Surah 13, verse 11. The Kufa's internal divergence cause external defeat. Right cannot be achieved without effort is a term that relates to the victory, for truth requires sacrifice and unity of purpose, not mere verbal claims. And the comparison to the enemy being men of your shape, but different in character, highlights that numerical or physical similarity means nothing. Taqwa, obedience, and discipline determine the outcome. Contemporary scholars such as Ayatollah Jawad Amali and Ayatollah Muharram Shirazi state that this is one of the clear proofs of the necessity of true obedience to the Masum Imam. Lip service without action nullifies allegiance. The Imam's frustration when he says, "I wish I had not seen you," is not personal anger, but sorrow for the Ummah's loss. It foreshadows the tragedy of Karbala, where similar disunity among supporters led to Imam Hussein's isolation in Karbala. It is used in modern lectures to warn against armchair jihad or verbal radicalism without sacrifice. True support for Walaya requires readiness to act when called upon.